Let's run it back with the Championship Wrestling Rewind.
Man, for the last few weeks, we've been seeing these training videos from the camp of Heather Monroe and Halston Body. You're going to see and or hear the highlights in just a moment, depending on if you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast provider. But these segments, they've been very entertaining. And if you don't know the full story behind this main event match that's taking place this Saturday on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, I'm going to chop it up with Heather Monroe in just a few minutes, and you'll get a better understanding of exactly what I'm talking about and how big this match really is. But before I talk to Heather, let's take a look at those highlights from Saturday. Last week on Championship Wrestling, in our Dave and Buster's Match of the Week, we crowned new #1 contenders for the United World Tag Team titles.
The Power Ballad, and they're on their way, not home sweet home, but to episode 500, and for a shot at the United Tag Team titles.
And the stage was set for the biggest match in women's division history.
What? Have you ever taken a chop?
What? Oh, God! What the hell was that?
You gotta get used to it! Rosie Reigns hits really hard!
For Heather!
Yeah! We're gonna go!
What have I been doing to train? What have I been doing to train? This is what I do. I am a professional wrestler. Why don't you ask her what she's been doing to train?
All I've been doing is training for the past 3.5 years. Of course I'm ready. All I want to do is wrestle.
Everything that Nico has given me includes everything that Nico has, including this team. Nobody in their wildest dreams can even hope to match up to these two.
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 90 in full at youtube.com/championship wrestling. I am so excited. Joining me at this time is resident mean girl and one of the most popular wrestlers on our program on Championship Wrestling. It's Killer Bay, Heather Monroe. How are you, Heather?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Isn't it funny? I say resident mean girl, but then you're also one of the most popular on the entire show.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm mean. I would say I'm pragmatic.
Well, you have been with Championship Wrestling and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We've been watching you here in Memphis for almost 2 years, and I know that you've been with Hollywood even longer. First and foremost, this coming Saturday, you guys are celebrating 500 episodes. That's 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome milestone, especially for a smaller company that's doing TV. To have made it that long and to have produced as many stars as it has, and being a part of it has been really awesome, especially since I was a really big part of getting that women's division back up and running after many years of them not having one. So it's definitely a cool thing to be a part of.
Absolutely incredible, and I'm glad that you mentioned the women's division, because for these 10 years and those 500 episodes, there was not a women's division championship. Is that crazy?
Correct.
That's crazy, right?
There's never been a women's belt. I believe they did recognize the NWA Women's World Championship at one point, but there hasn't been an actual Championship Wrestling from Hollywood United Wrestling Network Women's Championship.
And you're doing just as big things as many as those people that you were talking about that have gone on to bigger and better things. I mean, you've wrestled for the NWA Women's World Title. You've wrestled on AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark. I mean, you've literally been everywhere. And this coming Saturday on the 500th episode Blockbuster Spectacular, you and Halston Body are in the main event. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's a big honor to carry that torch and be the main event of that. But also it brings a lot of stress to me because obviously Halston is not a trained wrestler. It's an underhanded tactic to ruin the women's belt that me and Halston have been creating. But I'm very excited I feel like he's ready, and we'll be able to do what we can to to hopefully get that women's belt up and running.
I'm talking to the Killer Bay, Heather Monroe, right here on the Championship Wrestling Podcast. And the last 2 weeks of training have been hilarious. It's been absolute television gold. I know there's a lot of stress on trying to train him up because he's not a professional wrestler, but how much fun did you guys have behind the scenes shooting this stuff?
It was a lot of fun. Obviously, me and Halston have very good dynamic. We bounce off each other really well. So it was really fun to go in and kind of come up with these ideas of what exactly we would be doing if in that case, and just having fun with it.
And there was a little bit of the bubbly that was popped during training. You and Halston were popping a little bit of champagne during the training, but hopefully at the end of the main event coming up on Saturday, you guys are popping the bubbly for a whole different reason, hopefully for a celebration.
Yes, hopefully that's the plan. That's why we got to motivate and think about that, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more once we're done with the match.
Now this match, it's an intergender tag team match. It's a little crazy to me that Nico Marquez and Jamie Iovine, who Jamie, by the way, was partners of yours in the same group for all of last year. But these guys are literally against sanctioning a women's division title. Ruby Reyes and Cece Chanel, I don't know what's up with them going for this, but this tag team match is being billed as the biggest match in women's division history. If you and Halston win, the women's division championship is sanctioned. If Ruby Reyes and CC Chanel win, no women's championship. Talk about pressure. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. And I know, obviously, the odds are stacked against me in this one. I don't know what Jamie's deal is coming into this. I know Nico just is a misogynist. He's a sexist. He just wants it to be all about men all the time. But I have confidence in me and Halston, and I feel like Cece and Ruby will realize what's good for them once we beat them as well.
Awesome. Heather, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.